Let's watch this. This is the opening cinematic for Virtual Fighter 5 REVO, and I think it's also the announcement trailer at the same time. But we don't have a release date or anything. All we know is that it's gonna have 4K visuals, rollback netcode, and for the first time in over 20 years, they're releasing a Virtual Fighter on PC. This is not Virtual Fighter 6 or whatever the new Virtual Fighter is going to be. This is kind of like a little taste, a little tidbit, a little teaser before they get us into the door. It's the hook to get us into the door to want to play the new Virtual Fighter, which I think is great. I think that's a great idea. Kind of just release one of the old games that already had a re-release. Also worked on the same team that originally worked on it, plus the Yakuza team. So Virtua Fighter 6 Yakuza guest characters incoming. Smiley face. Is this the highest available quality? It is. The music still feels very Virtual Fighter. I don't know if this is a new or old song. Kage Mario, my bad. And there's a Sarah Bryant. I mean Nina, my bad. And Jackie Bryant. I mean Paul Phoenix. Did that say Jack Bryant, not Jackie Bryant? Jack. It's Jack. Lion Raphael. Yeah. And Ioe. I don't know how to say her name. I've never known how to say her name. And that's Krillin, bro. Life is just Krillin but tall. You'll never convince me otherwise. There's Vanessa. Yep. Vanessa Lewis. Brad. Go? Yeah. I don't remember their names. Wow, that's awesome. L-Blaze? Yeah. Alpie? Eileen. And that's Taka. I got her name very wrong. And that's John Cujo. Yeah. This is pretty cool. I like that. This is the opening cinematic for the game. You know, I like this a lot. I think this is really cool because it shows like no gameplay, so that if you've never seen a Virtual Fighter before, if you're a zoomer, this makes you want to go and look for old gameplay and see how the game plays. And maybe if you're a super nerd, look up a tutorial of how the game functions. Because then this leaves a lot up to mystery, which is a good thing when you want to get fighting game players, because fighting game players are they experience Stockholm Syndrome very heavily, more than any other gamer outside of like Call of Duty players. They absolutely say, "Oh yes, new fighting game coming out, gonna buy it," and then they play it for 30 minutes and they never touch it again. Like almost every fighting game player does this, right? They have a Steam backlog of fighting games that they've only played for 30 minutes for the first like maybe week of the game, 2 weeks of the game, and they never pick it up again. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I bet you I know a lot of people who have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, never played it but bought it so they can say, "Yeah, I have it," so I could talk shit about it. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Let's see, what's another game that like tons of fighting game players probably have but don't play? Skullgirls. Skullgirls is a great example. I know tons of people that own Skullgirls and don't fucking play it, you know? So Virtual Fighter 5 REVO fills a big gap in the market. We haven't had another 3D fighter to truly challenge Tekken's dominance over 3D fighters. There hasn't been one, right? Virtual Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown was on PS5 or PS4 only. It wasn't even on Xbox. It wasn't crossplay because this was the time before crossplay became big. Soul Calibur is always on a shoestring budget in comparison to Tekken. They treat it like the redhead stepchild. They beat the shit out of it and abuse the fuck out of the franchise to get new things, to learn new things for what they want to put in the next Tekken. It's just kind of how the game works. Dead or Alive actually just decided to off itself. I don't like. They could have just made a DOA game, but they decided to make an esports game. All they had to do was make a fucking DOA game, and they would have been fine. Anyways, they decided to off themselves. So Tekken's been sitting on the throne of 3D fighters with no one to rule. Like his kingdom, the kingdom of 3D fighters is empty. It's Tekken, and no one's there. Not only has there been no one to challenge the throne, there's been no one to rule over, right? So to see Virtua Fighter 5 REVO coming probably, assuming next year, I hope to see some news for Virtua Fighter 5 REVO at the Game Awards, or maybe even a trailer for 6 at the Game Awards. Probably way too soon, but that would be really awesome because we know that Virtua Fighter 6 has been in active development for about 2 years now. Virtua Fighter 6 is not a new project, or the new Virtua Fighter. It's not a new project. We're barely hearing things about it, but apparently it's been in active development already for 2 years. We're in 2024, nearing 2025. So that means there has been almost 3 years, hopefully, very close to 3 years of development where they're fine-tuning the game, making it a competitor to Tekken 8 and a competitor to Street Fighter, right? You want to challenge the market dominance of the two biggest fighting games that exist right now because they're in a niche all their own. When you think about a game like Guilty Gear, small in comparison to Street Fighter and Tekken. I'm sorry. If you look at a game like Mortal Kombat, basically fucking dead in comparison to Street Fighter and Tekken. Like, there's nothing to challenge that market dominance. And a lot of old people, okay, I don't know if you know this, but Zoomers are starting to take over fighting games. Zoomers are even taking over old fighting games like Melee, okay? And Zoomers are even taking over old games like Halo, okay? Like, it's just, information spread so fast. The amount of competitive drive in these younger people and the amount of time that they have to dedicate to these games really just beats the shit. Zoomers will come back for this game, especially for a Virtua Fighter that stays true to the core audience and the core essence of what the game is about. I don't care if you make the character designs look more modern. If Akira's not wearing that same goddamn gi that he's been wearing for 35 years, that's fine. I don't care if Jeffrey finally puts a shirt on, you know, if John Kujo doesn't just look like Ken with white hair. I don't mind any of that. That's all okay. They change up the design. If Sarah doesn't look like a copycat of Nina, even though Sarah was first, all of these things are fine. If they modernize the characters and the way they look and modernize the game, as long as they keep that core game feel and keep the game pure for the audience. I expect some sort of comeback mechanic or some sort of rage or super move, whatever. Almost fully expected. It's a modern fighting game after all, or it's going to be, but just keep it close enough to what Virtua Fighter fans have been asking for and praying for, right? And if they don't, like, to be fair, they might be shooting themselves in the foot by releasing REVO on PC before 6, because if 6 is a dumpster fire, REVO will now exist with rollback netcode on PC. So they're hedging their bets, but also shooting himself in the foot. Because if this game is really good, but I mean, if it's Virtua Fighter 5, of course it's really good. Virtua Fighter 5 is really good, and if 6 does not stand on the same level or above, I'm not sure how 6 would do. That's the thing that scares me actually about Virtua Fighter 5 REVO, right? Like, I was like, oh, please bring it to PC before Virtua Fighter 6, and I'm thinking about it, and if Virtua Fighter 6 is ass, like, REVO just took its spot. Like, you just made Virtua Fighter 5 REVO. You took away all your own money, all of the hard work and production you've done on 6. So you have to make sure 6 is good for that reason alone, right? I think some leaks have mentioned potentially quest mode coming back, new characters, modern designs, and potentially an esports focus, along with very solid netcode and matchmaking, which is good, right? You don't want old Street Fighter matchmaking where you're in North America, but you're like central, so you get a bunch of people from Mexico all the time and almost no Americans. To be fair, I'm probably closer to more Mexico than I am to the rest of the United States. Like, it's like 8 hours to get out of Texas up, but it's like 2 hours to get out of Texas down. So, like, arriba on delay, you know? Not like hurry up, you know? We don't know. It's a lot of Spanish down here. Anyways, I'm hoping that this game does well and that it brings about like a revolution or a spark. It brings back that spark for 3D fighters and makes people excited for a new one. And that they don't make us wait too long for at least a trailer, right? At least a trailer, some tidbits of information, talk about the new characters, talk about the new features, maybe even some dev blogs keep us updated, kind of like Project L2XKO has been doing. I think that'd be great. That'd be awesome because Sega is a very beloved game publisher, and they're doing great with all of their franchises. Right, Sonic versus Sonic X Shadow Generations, Sonic Frontier. Is it Frontier? The open world Breath of the Wild like one. People loved that game. The Yakuza series is doing great, but they haven't really. They left a lot of their franchises in the dust, right? The Jet Set Radios, the Crazy Taxis, all that stuff. It looks like it's on its way back, which I'm really happy about. That's awesome. So let's hope to see some good. Ooh, I hope we get a new rally game too. Sega Rally. Anyways, yeah, that's all I really have to say about Virtua Fighter 5. It's up on Steam, but there's no system requirements, so I'm not even going to show it. And there's no date or price yet. I'm going to assume that REVO will probably be the same price as Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown was on the PS4, which was $40, which I think is a good price. Right when the game launched, it was a $40 or $50 game, but they're just adding modern amenities and things that didn't exist in the original Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown and Ultimate Showdown, especially Ultimate Showdown having absorb-based netcode instead of this delay-based netcode that now they've had to build from the ground up. But if it's good, we know the netcode will be good for Virtua Fighter 6, which is awesome. Definitely necessary. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Leave a comment down below if you like Virtua Fighter. If you've never even heard of Virtua Fighter or played it, but it at least interests you as someone who has a passing understanding of fighting games or just 3D fighters alone, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to try to go back to putting out content at least a couple times a week, maybe not daily. I'm just lazy. So it's not like I have a lot of stuff going on in life or anything. I'm just late. I can do a YouTube video in 10 minutes and throw it up because I don't edit, but I'm lazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes talking about Virtua Fighter 5 REVO, the first Virtua Fighter to come to the PC platform in over 20 years, signing out and saying peace.